Hello, welcome to the TV room. David Bradley here. In beginning to test things, I was downstairs. I haven't made it to the garage yet, but I found, indeed, the Commodore 64 power supply. And of course, the thing about this is, it's got this awful little connector here. Look at that. And I can't stick probes in there and hope to have any luck, but it's okay because I have this. It's a little meter that will tell me if the 5 volts is good or if the 5 volts is bad. And that is important because that is the killer. If this does not read nicely in the vicinity of 5 volts, the wires are getting snipped. All I have to do to test it, because this is made by Rudy of Rudy's Retro Info, but there's only one, is I plugged it in, I plug this in, and I hold this up here and I see that it is 5.19, well within acceptable parameters. But there is another voltage in here. The 5 is the killer voltage. The 9, usually, I've never had one go bad and damage anything. So this 64 is off. This video cable is plugged in. I turned the monitor on. And why did I turn the monitor on? Well, because I want to know. I want to hear things. Oh, that's right. I need to plug in the video. I want to hear things. I want to see things. Because if the 9 volts is bad, from what I found, there will be a loud buzz and funny lines appear on the screen, and that's about it. But if it's working, then the Commodore 64 should come up. And this is one of the 2 64s I recently got. And I'm going to give this a try. And that is a good sign. Shazam. So this power supply is working. Now I wish I had a black Sharpie handy, but I don't. Oh, and this power supply, oh, it has a little damage on each corner, but oh well, it works. So I'm going to write on here 5.19. Works. And this is 11/2024. Lovely. There it is. It works. So that is the first thing. Now, am I going to take this to the World of Commodore to try and sell it? I don't know. Excellent question. Maybe. Maybe I will. Maybe I won't. I don't know. You know what? Because nobody trusts these power supplies, I don't know that people will want them. There are many other options. Actually, the last big TPUG meeting we had online, there was a fellow there who makes wonderful things for power supplies. And I mean, like anything today, if it's modern and it's good and it's wonderful, it's not cheap. This would probably be pretty cheap. Actually, there's a fellow out west. I keep on seeing these ads for him. He's saying, I've got 2 of these. I'll warranty them for 3 days. You know, pay me whatever, and I'll send them to you. And, you know, and I wrote to him, I said, you know, you really gotta know if they're working or not, because somebody, you could, you know, they could pay you $60 for them. You could ship them there and pay all that. They could be useless. They could be bad, and they could hurt his Commodore 64. So anyway, it didn't go well, and he went, "Oh, you're harassing me." Like, no, I'm just trying to save you the trouble of having somebody write back and say, you killed my 64, you weenie. So, as I sit here, this one seems to work. I think what I'm going to do while I'm here, snag the keyboard, and I will reattach it, because I do believe I will be doing quite a bit of testing of things that might need a working Commodore 64 handy. I have not moved other things off the desk yet, but that's okay. one thing at a time. So there, keyboard is connected, keyboard is on, keyboard is closed. Turn it on, up it comes. We can poke 53280, 0. We can poke 53281, 0. We can change this to white, and we can say print quote World of Commodore. Oops. Semicolon, colon. Go to 10. And then I can type run. And there it is. Isn't it lovely? Lovely, lovely, lovely. I can slow it down. I can. This also slows down the listing. Anyway, so what we have here is another good power supply. It's kind of yellowed. And you know, here's the thing, because I have a lot of Commodore 64s. So maybe I'm not inclined to sell them off at this time. But if I do sell 64s, maybe I will be inclined to sell them off at that time with them, with the understanding that, you know, these things could go bad. So it's really best to get a modern one. It really is. Anyway, so I could let this, it's not getting warm or anything. I could let this sit for a while. Maybe I will. But for the moment, I think I'll go back downstairs and look for something else. Something to test. Something to test, indeed. All right. Hope to see you at the World of Commodore, November 30th, December the 1st, 2024, the Admiral Inn in Mississauga. Go to tpug.ca for details. It will be, as it always is, a fun time. There are presentations, there's people selling things. Actually, I've heard more and more people maybe getting vendor tables to sell things that they're finally saying, okay, I've had enough of this, or I've got enough of these. I can't imagine. But also, it's just, you know what, it's the being around the people, it's the camaraderie, and, you know, hanging out with the people, and the computers, and reliving those glorious, glorious memories. Anyway, that's it for now. One power supply good. And, by the way, I was on that horrible thing, which I try and stay away from, Temu, and I did see on there, and I almost ordered some little, like, meters, kind of like this, that that you could just, you know, put, like, basically what I haven't looked in here. Look, it has a Commodore logo on the back, but Rudy made this. But basically, it is the connector, the power connector from a Commodore 64 or a Vic-20 or what have you, and it runs to the meter. And the meter, I'm not sure what its tolerances are, but certainly it can more than handle 5 volts. So it does. And that is the critical voltage. Critical. So, not that the 9 volt isn't important. Not long ago, I had a beautiful power supply. Absolutely stunning. The 5 volts was fine. The 9 volt was cooked. Snip go the wires. All right. We'll see you again soon. Have a lovely day. Bye for now.